This lesson is on point-slope form. The first thing that we need to know is the formula for point-slope form. I'm going to turn my foldable sideways and we're going to write y minus y1 equals m parentheses or times x minus x1. So we've seen this y1 and this x1 before. That's because it's from when we're given a point. We're going to be given, and it says it in the name, point slope form. You're given a point and the slope in this equation. So if we're writing an equation in point slope form, given a point and the slope, which is what we're talking about, that's what we're going to need. Okay, you might want to rewrite the y minus y1 m times x minus x1 across the top so that you don't forget it. Write an equation in point slope form of a line that passes through the point 4, 3 and has a slope of 2. Every time I am writing in point slope form or even slope intercept form, what it helps me to do is to label what I'm needing out of my equation. Okay, so I need my m, because I'm going to need that, and I'm going to need my x and my y. Okay, and now remember this x and the y are the ones that I'm replacing, so that x1 and the y1. So I have a slope of 2, an x of 4, and a y of 3. So to write your equation, y minus, what is y1? It is 3, and it equals my slope of 2 times x stays the same minus x1 is 4. So you could try that again. You could, if I gave you the point 3, 7 and m of -2, you could be able to write that in point slope form. That's my x and my y. So y minus my y1 is 7 equals my slope is -2 times x stays the same minus my x1 is 3. Now, we have some negatives in here. This changes things just a little bit. I still need to identify my m, my x, and my y. M is -6, x is 7, y is -1. So y minus, let's see, if it's minus a -1, you will never see that. We know minus and negative is the same thing as adding 1. And it's going to equal the slope of -6 times x minus 7. So if it is a negative, you're going to make it that plus. If it is a positive, we're leaving it a minus because that's part of the formula. And then you could try -2, 4, and a slope of 1/2. Remember your x and your y. Y minus 4 equals 1/2 times x. Minus -2 will be that plus 2. Pay attention to those negatives in the coordinates. So now, to graph an equation in point-slope form, well, you're given, we said two things, the point and the slope. So label everything. We have our m is 2/3, and our point, our x and our y. Our x is 3, because remember the formula has the minus, it's not a negative. And then the y, it says +2, so we knew that would have been a -2. Now to graph the point-slope form, you start at the point, and then you follow the slope. Up 2, right 3, or down 2, left 3. And then you can pause the video and try it. Label your M and your XY coordinate. X is a +1, so it was a -1. And Y, the minus belonged to the equation, the 1 stayed a positive. Start at the coordinate and follow slope. Okay. Good. Now, bottom left, writing an equation given the graph. Again, two things that we're looking at. We need the slope and a point. So let's find the slope of this graph. Well, slope on a graph, I just rise over run, so I'm rising 1, 2 over -2. Negative because I went left. That reduces to -1. And now it says use the right-hand point. The right-hand point is just whichever is furthest to the right. So in this case, it is 1, 1, my x and my y. So in point-slope form, y minus, my y is 1, equals my slope, -1 times x minus 1. And then you can pause the video and try. I have to find my rise over my run. So my rise is 3 and my run is 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3. And your xy coordinate that you're using is the one furthest to the right. That's 2, 4. So y minus my y value is 4 equals my slope of 3 times x minus my x coordinate of 2. Writing an equation in point-slope form given 2 points that the line passes through. We're going to first have to find the slope. Slope from 2 points is still the same. We can go down, up, down, up. I have 6 over -3, which reduces to -2. That's my slope. And it says use the first point. So -2, 3 as my x and my y. Y minus my y1 is 3 equals my -2 slope times x minus -2 is a +2. And you can pause the video and try the next one. Write an equation passing through these 2 points. You can pause it and then watch to see if you did it correctly. Finding the slope, 4 minus 2, 4, and we're reducing is -1/2 is my slope. And using that first point, so -5, 4, x and y. Y minus my y1 is 4 equals -1/2 times x minus -5 is a +5.